So you can start, sir.
Okay, I welcome you all to this Young Mentorship Program meeting on incorporation of companies, important developments. In fact, we have had a few series of programs targeting the young minds in our mind, where we had one on bank audit for first timers. The second program was just recently about the opportunities available for entrepreneurs, the avenues. And right, we'll have one towards the end of the program, end of the year, so that our young members are able to take benefit of this. And when it came, we thought that incorporation of companies, we are facing a lot of developments, will be the right topic. In fact, since the days the Companies Act 2013 have come into existence, we have seen a lot of roller coaster rides. Things, the intent though was to make easy, things have actually become tougher. But nevertheless, the government is trying to take series of steps to see that things become easier. So these 5 forms interviews, we have with us Speaker Sean from Kochi to be able to elaborate whether they have actually become easier or difficult. I remember we did plan one program in the month of March, and the speaker said, "Sir, we need at least 1.5 months for us to actually speak on the subject because we don't know how things easy or difficult they are." So, nevertheless, not to miss out the topic, we thought we appropriately covered today. So, before I request the secretary to introduce the speaker and let the speaker address, we have with us CA Prasanna Kumar, Central Council member, joining us, who is going to share his thoughts. He's holding a lot of portfolio in the important committees of ICA and also involved in a lot of things, lot of activities where ICA is kind of, put into the top picture. So I will request him to share the updates, including the recent union and the one which are going to be forthcoming as well. Prasanna sir, over to you, please.
Yeah. I'm audible, Chain?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine. Respected CA Dungar Chand Jain, DC Jain, popularly known as the chairman of SARCF ICA, and we call him a Sigaram fame DC Jain nowadays. So after recently successful regional conference, and see Abhishek Murali, a dynamic secretary of SARCF, young and dynamic. The word young also should be added to him. He is the youngest secretary so far in SARC, in the history of SARC. And another young and dynamic, speaker, CS Sean. His firm is very close to me. He's a partner of German K Church, a member in my core team who has helped me as a chairman. When I was the chairman of SARC, he was also part of our team. A great member. So I think having got trained Sean under German K Church, you can expect a lot from him. He's a practical man. The same practical orientation should be there with Sean, and I think we'll all be benefited with this one. My dear young members of the profession, so good evening to all of you. It's a great thought for DCJ and his team for starting a mentorship program for young members to have the skill sets to handhold with them in their initial days of practice. This is a great thought process. So particularly, there was recently one program started by one of the regional councils. If my memory goes, it was NIRC. They started a program known as Mentor-Mentee Program. This is the first time I'm hearing such words also. So mentor is always known, the mentee is the first time I'm hearing. Mentor-Mentee Program, whereby so a group of senior chartered accountants have come forward to mentor the young chartered accountant. That is a good scheme. That time I was thinking that even regional council, Southern India regional council should start off something of this kind. Before I could talk to him, already the SARC chairman has started this young members mentorship program in a different style, which is going to be practically useful to them. So I compliment his team for getting this great idea. And today's topic is very important in sense the incorporation of companies and particularly the recent developments in the incorporation of companies. It is made easy, and particularly Spice Plus. This is a very important initiative of the government. These are the very good topics that have been chosen, which will be useful for the young members in the initial days of this practice. So CS Sean, as I told you, so particularly with German K George, his senior partner, he is not only the accounting standard, auditing standards in the company, also is the expert. So his firm has got a credibility towards practice and corporate practice. Okay, so I'm sure his deliberations is going to be practical oriented and help all the young members today. The friends, we are all senior members. We know how the businesses used to be run, how the administration in the country, be it central government or government, respective state government, how they used to handhold with the business people for running their businesses. There are a lodge known as, you may not be aware, there are license lodge. For every small thing you have to make an application. There's a bureaucrat involved in that one. There's a big process involved for getting a license. Even if you want to start a small pottikadai, in Tamil Nadu they call it pottikadai, in other places a short, small shop on the pavement. There's a big list of things you have to comply with. That was known as license lodge. Then came the inspector lodge. Inspector lodge is the one where for compliance levels, even if it's a small mistake, so which may not hamper much to the public or the stakeholders, still, if you do not comply with that one, there's a penalty for you, there's a prosecution also for you, and so much of procedure you have to follow. That was known as inspector lodge. Even smallest deviations were not tolerated. Thereby, you can understand how much of human intervention is there in the granting the license, how much of human intervention is there, the bureaucratic intervention is there in inspector lodge also. To eliminate all these things, because these are all hindrances, they are not hand-holding with the business people. Business people are required, businesses are required, trade, commerce is very much required. That is the economy of the country. They are the people who contribute a lot to the economy of the country. The government should be happy enough. They should come forward and handhold with them. But by virtue of the inspector lodge and license lodge, they are keeping all these business people away. They are in fact afraid to start a business in India. That was the situation. Things have changed over a period of time. Government of India came forward. This is not today's thought process. It happened around 25 years ago itself, that we should do it on a phase wise, this license or inspector lodge. Now today is not there at all. So what is that leading to today? It is ease of doing business. As I told you, the economy of the country has to go forward, and if we are targeting to achieve 5 trillion economy by 2025 or 2026, as per the vision of the Honorable Prime Minister of our country, Modi ji, we have to have handhold with the business people. What encourage more and more entrepreneurs to come and they make their establishment, be it in the manufacturing sector or service sector and any other sector, ancillary tertiary sectors also. That is where the ease of doing business has got a lot of importance. Both the respective state governments and central government is giving a lot of initiative and thrust for ease of doing business. See, in one of the initiatives in line with this is Spice Plus. This one initiative is an integrated form where 3 ministries of government of India and 1 state government have joined together to have this particular integrated form. What is this about? I'm not going to deal with the entire subject. I'm just going to touching upon that one. You have got a great speaker to touch upon that one. See, the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, the Ministry of Labor, and Department of Revenue within the Finance Ministry and Government of Maharashtra, all of them joined together to have this Spice Plus. This integrated form where you need not run pillar to post. This is also known as single window. That means if you go to one place, you got whatever is required. Wherever you need to take the licenses or the permissions, whatever it is, should go in. It should be taken in one go. This is the beginning of the initiative. So now this is likely to be followed by many other state governments. Thereby, ultimately, we need to have only one single form. Be it, suppose I want to start a business in Tamil Nadu, or I want to start a business in Puducherry or Andhra Pradesh, wherever it is. The moment your register office is located there, immediately it will show you these are all things you have to do. Automatically, this particular application is forwarded to them. Automatic route. It should happen simultaneously, instantaneously. That's going to happen. That is the ultimate thing we are going to achieve. This is only a beginning that they have made. Friends, if you see, even you just take the prima facie, what are the licenses that you need? The moment you go for incorporation of the company, suppose you take Companies Act 2013, you have to incorporate the company. The moment that is over, you have to go to the bank to open a bank account, and you have a list of KYC there. Then you have to take a permanent account of PAN. You have to take tax deduction account number TAN. Then you have to take GST number, and you have to take ESI, PF, labor license, and electricity connection for that, and professional tax, shops and establishment tax, so on and so forth. Both central and state government, so many things are there. Do we think the KYC required, the application that we need to make to all these departments for getting these licenses is different? Same thing, name of the firm, constitution, who is responsible, what is the entire thing is same, common information. Only the form number changes, otherwise all common information. That is the reason why all these things you should get in one go. That is the purpose of this particular Spice, and I'm sure this is going to have a far-reaching effect in future to see that the ease of doing business is going to be achieved by the governments. Normally we say this, our economy is driven by the not politicians. Politicians are very great people. They are the people who make a decision. They are the people who give the direction to the government. They are the policy makers. Implementation bureaucrats' role is more day by day, right? Not only from this one, even up to faceless assessment, what is prevalent today. Abhishek Murali is very famous in faceless assessment. So we know how government is moving towards. So friends, this spice, actually something spicy is also very interesting. Okay, not the spicy is not these. Not only this initiate the spice plus is going to be spicy, it should be sweet also. If you see the nuances of that particular scene, I'm sure all of us are going to be benefited out of the initiative of the government. I'll just conclude. Before I conclude, see, I'm also a member of committee for members in practice. I'm also a member of the professional development committee. There are a lot of initiatives taken in professional development committee where what are the opportunities open for the members. There are many senior members who may not be taking who may not be interested in doing certain services, be it in banking sector or insurance sector or other tertiary sectors also. But there are a lot of opportunities for the chartered accountants, for the young members to be able to do a lot of job in that. So we should have one seminar. Now it is only enthusing us to have one more seminar for the professional development through professional development committee to have what are the initiatives that have, what are the opportunities have for the young members. As far as the committee for members in practice is concerned, we know there are a lot of initiatives that were taken, not only the professional matters or non-professional matters also, where some incentives, some concessional rate who are getting so many products which may not be related to the profession, but related to the profession also, the number of initiatives who have been taken. Now I got an idea. So actually we have initiated one particular process before Corona pandemic arose in India, that we wanted to have one program for young members, a residential program in the Center of Excellence in Jaipur and Hyderabad, where how to set up your practice, how to propagate your practice, how to improve your practice, what are all the knowledge levels, minimum knowledge levels, the practice-oriented knowledge that one should have. We have coined a very good scheme for that one. Very good program has been coined, but due to this pandemic, we could not introduce that. We have announced, but we could not introduce. I am sure that very soon that this pandemic will be over and we will have a residential program. If necessary, we can go in a virtual also. This one good initiative. I'm sure it is going to benefit all the young members. Then the second thing is the moment a chartered accountant passes. Now all these ideas are coming when I am addressing you only. The moment a chartered accountant passes, he will not know that there are some set of members. The moment he passes, he knows he wants to go for employment. A set of members he wants to go for practice. A set of members who wants to go join for traditional business, family business. But there are at least more than 50%, 60% of the students, they young members, they do not know where to go. What are the opportunities in the employment? What he can do, what he cannot do, given his particular specific circumstances. That is not there. Now we feel that we will have the moment results are declared, and we should get the list of the chartered accountants who has passed, and we should have a mentorship program by the respective branches of the regional council, where some senior members drawn from the profession or the industry, they'll come and address and come and tell them what are the opportunities there, be it in employment or the practice. This is one thing which has come to my mind when I'm just attending this program. So I'm sure that we will introduce that one. We'll see when by the time January 25th or around 25th, we're going to announce the results of final in the November cycle, and first week of February we should have. By then, DEC Jain will continue to be the chairman. February also will be the chairman. Under his dynamic leadership, we'll have a great program. The first program of this initiative, we'll have it in Chennai. We'll get it inaugurated. So thanks for giving me the opportunity. While addressing, I got this great idea also. It will be useful to all the members. Thank you very much. Wish you all the best. Have a great learning. Thank you.
Thank you, Prasanna sir. Thank you so much. That was CA Prasanna Kumar for you, who spoke how things were there in the license Raj. That shows that he's a veteran CA. And then he touched upon the single window system. That shows he's still young at heart, actually. So thank you, Prasanna sir, for sharing your thoughts with all of us. And we will continue to do the programs which you have kind of coined. And I think one program we're already discussing to see that we have it in the first week or second week of January. So thank you so much once again, Prasanna sir. Abhishek, we can introduce the speaker and take things forward.
Yeah, with your permission, DC Jain, I'll just log out. I got another meeting at 4:15. I'll just join this meeting. Thank you so much. Very nice of you. Thank you. Very nice.
Thank you so much, Prasanna sir. Very warm good afternoon to all the participants. Dynamic Chairman CA Dungarchand Jain, our very beloved Central Council member CA Prasanna Kumar sir, and I can say both chairman and I, we are really very thankful to have the support of CA Prasanna Kumar sir. He's a member of our executive committee as well, and he is a true bridge between the regional council and the central council. Whatever views, whatever support we need, he is someone who immediately, we are not even talking end of the meeting, during the meeting he will take the phone, he will make the call, he'll get things resolved for us. And that's the sort of support that we have been able to build the platform on for this entire year. Even though it was all virtual, he was able to give us the kind of tireless support, effortless support, and he's such a dynamic leader, as you could see from his very own address that he just delivered. So thank you, Prasanna sir, for taking time from your busy schedule to be here with us. I also like to welcome our speaker for the day, my good friend, CA Sean Jeff Christopher, who I have the privilege of introducing. And in fact, Sean had last year addressed in our SIRC physically at Chennai, and his session was very well regarded, so highly regarded. So both chairman and I, both of us felt we need to have another session in a virtual mode to reach a larger gathering. And what better topic than the latest developments in companies, and for young members especially. And even though this is a young member program, I'm sure the cross section of members that we have today will be both young and old, because Spice Plus is the first steps that you will be taking to anything related to an audit or any work that an auditor does. Because the setting up of a company or of the firm is the baby steps that you take before you get into audit, advisory, or any other aspects concerned. So therefore, given the huge number of changes, we needed an expert who does this on a day-to-day affairs. And Sean, in fact, I can say he moves very closely with the top people in the ROC and MCA. So now I have the privilege of introducing him for today's session. CA Sean Jeff Christopher is an insolvency professional at DISA and a FCA. He's a partner of our immediate past chairman, CA Joman K. George, as said by Prasanna Kumar sir, and he has offices in Cochin and Trivandrum as well. He's practicing extensively in corporate law matters. He also does insolvency cases, registered valuer matters. He works with a team of lawyers, chartered accountants, and a large number of students as well. In fact, he has hands-on experience with UAE VAT registration and implementation and company incorporation, and is qualified in the certificate course of GST, international taxation, forex, and treasury management by ICAI. He is a regular speaker and faculty in company law, insolvency code, FEMA, and international taxation, and is a district finance manager of the district of 92 of the Toastmaster International Club. So this is only a brief introduction about him. He's a very down-to-earth person and a very soft-spoken and friendly person. So thank you so much, Sean, for accepting our invitation. I know it is crunch time even for you, given December 31st is around the corner and no extension as of now has been officially announced. So despite that, you've taken time off to address our members. Thank you so much, and I welcome you today. Sean, I think you are muted.
Sean, you'll have to unmute yourself, Sean.
I will unmute you. Yeah, I've unmuted you, Sean.
Is it okay?
Yep.
Yes. Respected Chairman of SIRC, DC Jain sir, a friend of all, and also a magician. He used to come to our club and he showed some magic tricks. Respected Central Council member, Prasanna Kumar sir, very vibrant sir. I felt that he is the most young person, very young person in the group, right? Respected Secretary of SIRC, Abhishek Murali, my brother, a good friend, all the members present here. Good evening to you all and namaskaram. My dear friends, though the topic, this particular form was introduced 10 months back, but I still feel the topic is still young to be discussed. And young has a new definition. Young is not depends on the age. It is on your mind and your heart, right? So I feel all who are present here are young people only. There is no restriction. So the topic is also young because at any point of time, we can discuss this particular topic. Dear all, spice is an essential ingredient in all South Indian men. We know the reason why, because it adds flavor, Sorry for the interruption. Because spice add flavor to any dish. Also, this flavor it creates a long-lasting impression. No wonder that government has given an effective name to this particular form. It's called Simplified Proforma for Incorporation of Companies Electronically. This was introduced much back. There is some transition behind the scene. Though Prasanna Kumar sir made my job simpler by discussing in detail regarding the various aspects, let me slowly go through various aspects. Before that, I would like to tell all the members present here, if you have any questions, put the same in chat. Don't hesitate to ask. I am ready to answer all your questions in chat. Let's see how this has been progressed. We had a legacy structure. That is, we had initially under the Companies Act 1956, we had the Form 1, 18, and 32. We have to file this particular form, and we have to attach MOA, AOA, and this memorandum and articles has to be prepared in 3 sets, all sets to be signed with all the attachment. We go to our registrar of company office, get the same letter, we will file the same. And what happened in the phase 1? Immediately after the advent of the Companies Act 2013, that is almost 6 years ago, we had the new set of forms, INC 1, DIR 12, INC 22, along with attachment. In the phase 2, immediately after 2 years, that is in 2016, they have introduced the spice form. So spice is not a new thing, it is an old thing. So it is a new wine. We can say new wine in old bottle. So it is a spice. INC 32 was there. Then electronic eMOA and eAOA was introduced. For the members, especially for those young members present here, they want to start a new company. They all face the trouble because where I can get the format. And second doubt is self-doubt, whether this format is right or wrong, whether MCA will accept the same or not. So that doubt is not required because we have this particular eMOA, electronic MOA and eAOA. So you can pull down the memorandum and decide what you want, eliminate what is not required. In the phase 3, that is in 2019, along with the spice, eMOA, eAOA, we had the Agile. Agile is the application for GST, PAN, TAN, all this are put together in Agile. And the last is the phase 4, which we are going to discuss, that is web-based spice plus form and Agile. Agile Pro. It's not Agile alone, Agile Pro. Like we have the font brands, they have the name. Pro is the Renault Plus, likewise Pro is the Agile Pro is that is phase 4. What are the key highlights? So it is an omnibus one window application for statutory registrations. So this particular form, web-based form, or we can call it a format, it is a one-stop shop for all statutory registration, including common law registration. From the time MCA 21 was introduced, that is from 2006, 14 years earlier, we are battling with the PDF forms. When you fill up the forms, the problem is that the size will increase. So when you fill up the same and you have to save, change the name, then you start filling it up. So you fill up, save, come back and again do the same because you fear that the form size will increase. So under the new regime, under the new format, there is a paradigm shift. There is transition from PDF forms to integrated web-based forms. So you can fill up in the web-based form, then you can save and convert to PDF. You affix digital signature in the PDF form. So web-based form, one of the advantages is that ease in use. There is no difficulty. When you look at the web-based form, you have initial feeling. It is easy to fill up. And this particular format, we are expecting considerable change in the reduction in the turnaround time. Turnaround time means if you want to set up a company and start its functioning, how much time it will take? Firstly, you have to complete the incorporation process. Secondly, you have to obtain PAN, TAN, GST registration, open the bank account. If PF, ESI, everything is there, that will take minimum 3 months time. This particular form is going to bring down the turnaround time. As you all know the history, in 2020, when the World Bank introduced the ease of doing business index for India, the ranking was much lower. So the government ought to increase the ranking. So introducing Spice Plus form has this particular history. They want to ensure that our ranking in ease of doing business should be increased. As already mentioned by Prasanna Kumar sir, Central Council member, it has a bucket of 10 surveys by 3 central government departments and professional tax registration of 2 state governments, Maharashtra and Karnataka as of now. In the days to come, of course, more and more states will join this train. And one of the key feature is that the pre-fill available in link forms. So we have the link forms. Going forward, we'll discuss on what is meant by link forms. Earlier, when Communist Act 2013 came into picture, we have the e-forms and non-e-forms. Non-e-forms we call the attachments. Now, under the SPICE regime, they're calling the link forms. We have to attach the link forms. So once you open the link forms, whatever data you already filled up in the early forms, it will be automatically pre-filled. So we can say that pre-pack thing, all the information will come down. So you not fill up once again. So we look at the broad framework of the committee incorporation, how it looks like. In Companies Act 2013, Chapter 2 deals with the incorporation of companies and matters incidental thereto. It broadly covers the section ranging from section 3 to 22 regarding incorporation and the related matters. And the relevant rules is the Company Incorporation Rules 2014, because those who have already heard about the Companies Act 2013, the introduction part. So we cannot read the section as such. If you want to understand one particular provision, go to section first, then go to rules, read both together and interpret. Especially in certain areas, there is some distinction is there, especially in private placement areas like that. What section says and rule says is entirely different. So when you are all the new members, all the young members, not new members, all the young members present here, please ensure start reading the sections. If you want not to read the sections, there is no requirement to buy a book. You can go to MCA website, left hand side there is ebook is there. Click the ebook and select the rules section. Is the notification, all you can see. So this is the broad framework. We have the sections. This particular chapter 2 deals with the incorporation, and the company incorporation rules deal with the incorporation of companies. Some of the important sections. Altogether, there are 20 sections. I have listed out a few sections. Section 4 deals with the memorandum. Memorandum Association of Company. So as far as companies, it has been split into 3 parts. Companies having share capital, we have to follow the table A format. And if we are going to EMOA, then you have to select which option you need. If it is a company having share capital, you have to click the option, pull down the option, table A. If it is a company based on guarantee and that particular company is not having share capital, then you have to use the option table B. For those with share capital, it is table C. Coming to unlimited companies, without share capital is table D, and with share capital it's table E. Coming to articles, section 5 deals with the articles. As you all know, that memorandum deals with the relationship of company with outsiders. Articles deals with the relationship of company with insiders, how the company should function, and broad picture, how the meeting should be conducted, how the director should be appointed, etc. And indemnity, all these matters are being guided by articles. If the article of a company is silent, then we have to go to the act and refer to the relevant table. So for article for a company having share capital, we go to EAOA, E articles of association, you have to pull down table F. For companies based on guarantee and with share capital, it is table G. Without share capital, it is table H. Unlimited companies with share capital, table I, and without share capital, it is table J. Section 6 deals with the overriding powers of the Act. memorandum and articles cannot have anything which overrides, which is against, totally against the Companies Act 2013. So Act will always have the overriding power. Section 7 deals with the incorporation of companies, how the company should be incorporated, and what are the requirements you have to comply with. Section 10A, commencement of business. Though under the old Act, Companies Act 1956, it was a requirement for the public limited companies. In the new Act, initially they made a requirement. Section 11 was initially meant for filing commencement of business for all companies. There's no distinction. There is no distinction at all. And later on, it has been scrapped. Section 11 was omitted. And recently, in November 2019, they have reintroduced, November 2018, sorry, they have reintroduced this particular commencement of business form. So it is not that, don't feel that once you get a certificate of incorporation, the incorporation is complete. No. The company's incorporation entire process will be complete on unless and until you file, will not be completed unless and until you file the commencement of business form. What is the why they have introduced this particular form? Because most of the private limited companies, they start as such and they're not going to bring in funds. So what will happen? You see two things in the balance sheet. Share capital will be there and equivalent amount will be shown as the loans and advances. And over a period of time, this will get adjusted in the profit loss account. So this practice should be stopped. The government made it very clear, ministry made it very clear that once you start a company, you are making a commitment in the memorandum stating that I will bring in this much shares as capital. So this capital has to be brought into the bank account of the company and this should be intimated. So my dear professionals, don't delegate this particular part, commencement of business filing, to companies or company secretary alone. You also have a responsibility. Please ensure that that's being completed in a time-bound manner. Initially, it was 180 days with an incorporation. On account of this pandemic, it was extended to another 180 days. But ensure once you complete the incorporation, maybe within 1 or 2 months, you can complete this process. Section 12 is regarding the registered office. Any new company incorporated should have a registered office address within 30 days of incorporation. And we know about the INC 22A. Even in the incorporation form, SPICE Plus, we are making a certification. We are stating that the professional, myself as a chartered accountant or any person as a company secretary, as an advocate, they're certifying that they have personally visited this particular registered office address. So we are giving a lot of certification. So before completing your incorporation, please go through the sections if you have time to understand what section means. What is the intention of this particular section? When you look at the type of companies, we have the type of companies we can incorporate under SPICE form. All private companies can be incorporated. Public companies, no doubt. Section 8 companies can be incorporated. One-person company, producer companies. Earlier, producer companies are incorporated under the producer companies are governed by the old Act. In 2018, this old Act was scrapped. So now the new provisions are being introduced in the Companies Act to govern the producer companies. So producer companies can be incorporated under the SPICE form. Nidhi companies, and again the conversions of LLP to company, conversion of non-corporate entities to companies. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 type of companies can be registered. Normally all private companies, public companies, one-person companies, producer company, Nidhi company, conversion. So all have been brought under this particular format. So what are the surveys offered here? In the initial slides, we have seen that 10 surveys are being offered. So what kind of surveys are offered here? The incorporation, birth of a company starts with identifying a name. In human part, we say only when the child is born, we will identify a name. Exceptional case, some parents will have the name of the child in mind first. But in the company law, being a legal person, they are very particular. Law is very clear. You can start a company. Firstly, you identify a name for the company and ensure that that is available. So the name application, you can file in this particular SPICE Plus format. You can complete the incorporation. You can apply for a DIN. If the director is not having a DIN number, don't worry. Earlier days, we had the trouble. A director is not having DIN number. So we have to apply for the DIN. Hope some of us remember, present here, you can remember, we have to send this manual form, print out the form, fill up, sign, and send to Delhi, Noida. The people there have to satisfy themselves that these documents are fine. then only they will approve. Now these are being gone. Even DIN can be approved automatically in this particular SPICE form. We can apply for the PAN, TAN too, PAN as well as TAN. What are the add-on services? Opening of bank account. So there's an intention, as I already mentioned, there is an intention for every section regarding incorporation. There is intention behind adding why bank account should be opened, because they have to bring in the funds. So some people say tell the problem is that so we have incorporated the companies, but the bank is refusing. There's a delay in getting the opening of bank account. So now it is a mandatory option. You cannot leave away from the scene. You have to ensure that the bank account is opened. So how many banks are being enrolled here? For this, 8 banks are enrolled as per the MCA list. That is, they are Punjab National Bank, State Bank of India, ICICI Bank, Kotak Mahindra Bank, Bank of Baroda, Union Bank of India, IndusInd Bank, and HDFC banks. So 8 banks are on the list. In the days to come, we can expect more banks will be joined. So you can select one of the bank, provide the KYC, and complete the process. You can complete the Provident Fund registration, ESI. So the question is that, okay, how I can estimate that PF and ESI is a mandatory option, but it's not an optional one. So suppose I'm going to start a company. Only after 1 year, I will decide whether I have to add on people. PF, you know, there is a minimum requirement is that all this registration is applicable only if you have this much number of employees, 20 plus, ESI 10 plus. So what I should do at this point of time? So law made it very clear. You have to apply for the registration. And if you feel that is no more required, you can apply for a cancellation with the respective authorities. But on incorporation, you must mandatorily provide the details, because law makes it very clear that they have to provide this all registrations simultaneously. And GST is an optional, not mandatory. So if you provide GST again, some are telling that there are some hiccups in the same. And how far this is successful, one of the important thing to understand is that this is India only. We cannot bring change all of a sudden, but what I feel is that these changes are going to bring out a lot of change in the days to come. Since MCA was proactive, they have planned much in advance. They have introduced the scheme 14 years earlier, MCA 21, online filing. Now there is no hiccup. Because suppose you just think of scenario, you cannot complete a company incorporation without going to MCA office. What will happen? All will be stuck up. So thanks to effort of MCA and proactive steps. Coming to GST, initial hiccups will be there, but in later on, in the coming days, it will be definitely be removed. The professional tax at present, it is a mandatory option. You have to register for Maharashtra. If a company is based in Maharashtra, company's registered office is in the state of Maharashtra, then you have to apply for the professional tax registration. And is in Karnataka, if you apply for the professional tax registration. So one way of looking at the same is this is going to increase the better compliance, because as professionals, we need to convince the promoters of the company that this has to be applied for. So they feel why it is required at this point of time. So the law makes it very clear, then we can tell the point, because we can tell the point that this is the requirement of the law which they have to comply with. What are the form-wise changes? Agile Pro is going to replace Agile. Agile stands for the application for goods and service tax, PAN, and TAN application. And Agile Pro is going to cover a broad range of service. That is, it covers GST, application for GST, PAN, TAN, bank application, all this, PF, ESI, all this were being covered. And hope you remember those who applied prior to September 2020, those applied for the name, they have to apply name in a run, not run away. It is run as a reserve unique name. That means you have to go it's only a web-based form. So web-based, the first web-based form I would like to tell under the format. First web-based format introduced by MCA is run. So under the run format, you can apply for the name, apply for a new name or a change in name. Now run will continue, and run will continue only for existing companies, not for the new one. New companies, they cannot use the run form. Only the new company, in the sense that those who want to apply for the company. So those who want to apply a new company, start a new company, they have to use the SPICE Plus form, not run form. Run only to, suppose there is a company called Reliance Industries. They want to change the name in the future. So Reliance India Limited, then they have to use the run option. They cannot come to Spice Plus. INC 9, all are familiar with the declaration to be made by the directors. Earlier, this declaration has to be printed out, and there's a day where it has to be notarized. That's all being dispensed with. And now, one of the unique features of this particular Spice Plus is that INC 9 will be auto-generated. You need not fill up the same. You not print out the same sign, scan, and attach. It will be auto-generated. You have to affix the digital signature. That's fine. So there is an exception is that INC 9 cannot be used where total directors or subscribers is more than 20 for one particular company. If they are applying the directors and subscribers exceed 20, they cannot use this particular INC 9 auto generation option. Or the subscribers and directors are neither having DIN or PAN. So the exception is there. So those having DIN and PAN, no issue. If the number of subscribers and directors is less than 20, also they can use the auto generated INC 9. Then how it works? What is the first step in company incorporation? As I already mentioned, for a human child, only after the child is born we give the name. For a company, legal child, I would like to tell company is a legal child. So for this legal child, you have to identify the name first. So have your mind, what is the name? Okay, then you go for a login. Create a login MCA website, there is no issue. In the initial days, most of the professionals sitting here, we know that we are registered in our name, our login. We have created either by our individual login or firm login. We have created a login and have done the registration. But I advise in the coming days, it's better create a login for in the client's name, because the client will get most of the alerts for the same. So otherwise, the client will tell that, okay, my chart account doesn't intimate me. There's an alert. So that's why I forgot the same. So they will take an excuse for their own ignorance. So better, my advice in all future cases, when the present case also you can think of, create separate login for the client. And what is the next step? After this, you go to the dashboard. There is a display there. So the screenshot is available. I will show the same. Screenshot is there. You can go to the dashboard is there. And the dashboard has two parts. That is, you have been provided the composite option. That is, you are very particular that this particular name is available. So you're going to apply the name X Private Limited or particular industries Private Limited, and you are very particular that this name is available. It's better you do for a trademark search. The IP trademark website, you can go for a search, or when so many entities are there, like Vakil search, like those entities, there also you can conduct a free trademark search, and you ensure that the name is available. Then you can go for a complete option. So there is no trademark restriction. Then you go for the option that, okay, I'm going to complete the registration process, the name application, DIN if required, incorporation, everything simultaneously. And second option is that you are not particular, you have doubts whether this name is available or not, what to do. Then option one is that you select the part one. Anyhow, you have to go through part A. You complete the part A and tell you are not going for incorporation. So you are just doing the part A itself. That means you are applying for the name. Once the MC approve the fee, it will be displayed in the dashboard, and this can be utilized for the incorporation. So part A is must, because part A is the first door, the name application you have to go through. So you complete the name application, you can tell either you go for whether you opt for the incorporation or not. If you opt for the incorporation, you can complete. If you are not opting for the incorporation, you can mention that you are not opting for incorporation at this particular stage. Then you go for the part B. How the dashboard looks like. Here the Spice Plus part A. You can type the company, you can pull down, click and pull down. Class of company you can mention, category, subcategory, main division, what type of industry. The main division, we have the list of activities we can mention, number you have mentioned. Particulars of proposed or approved name, you mentioned below. Then you go to next option. As I already mentioned, choose whether you want to proceed for incorporation or only submit application for name reservation. So if you, as I already mentioned, because you're not very particular about the name, because you have certain doubts. So what you can do, okay, you can select the option, submit for name reservation. If you are very particular, you are very clear that then I will get the name, no doubt about the same. All the promoters tell you in one voice, in unison, that this name will be obtained. You must proceed. Again, as a professional, we have to do the double check, availability or not. We will tell them very clearly, if it is not available, not available. And if you are particular, it is available, please proceed with the incorporation. Coming to part B, they will ask this is the structure of company. They will ask whether articles is entrance or not. If yes, you mention yes. If no, you mention separately. Whether the company is having share capital or not having share capital, mention it as already mentioned, because that depends on the articles. Please ensure that if you're having mentioning company share capital, you have to select the table A for memorandum. And articles I already mentioned. So these are all being interlinked. Then the authorized capital you have to mention. Authorized paid up you'll mention. This is the initial part. And once you complete the filling up, you have the link forms we have. And these are the sequence in which you have to fill up the link forms. Anyone having questions in between, you can put in the chat. Mukesh from SARC will share me the chat. Mukesh, if you are listening, please, if you have any chat, any questions by members, please send across to me. Don't wait till end. Come back to the presentation. So these are the link forms. Once you complete part A, part B, then you start filling up the link forms. EMOA, pull down the option, very particular, should not change it. You cannot tell the reason that, okay, the article, the person who was filling was not familiar. Okay, you have the two resubmission of option only. Please understand, there are only two resubmission options. And the main challenge here is that, suppose a foreign company, you are going to incorporate a foreign subsidiary or a company with foreign promoters. Then I would like to say that your time already started. Why? Because the time availability, the name availability is restricted to a few days, 2 weeks time. And so you have to plan for the digital signature first. Okay, you are waiting for the name, no issue. So you have to plan for the digital signature. Second thing, attestation of documents. If the foreign company subscriber or Indian citizens residing outside India are subscribers, again you have to get the documents attested. It is a cumbersome task, because especially in the COVID times. You go to embassy, they have to wait for the same for attestation. Apostilling is a very difficult task. So you have to plan much ahead in advance. Don't wait for one particular process to complete, not to proceed to other. The Splice, just look at the feature of Splice Plus form. It is providing a bucket of service. Everything is done simultaneously. So once you plan for incorporation, you plan for the entire chain of activities simultaneously. Getting attestation of the documents, applying for digital signature, everything should be ready at the time you are going to file the incorporation documents. Coming to the sequence, EMOA, EAO you have to fill, URC1, that is for conversion of LLP to company, unregistered body to company, also apply to Section 8 companies. Agile Pro you have to fill up, then the INC9. So INC9 is towards the end only. All these are link forms, so the name will be automatically displayed. Stop press, there is a red alert here. This being categorically mentioned in the FAQ issued by MCA, that in case SPICE INC 32 has been filed with the linked filing of EMOA and EAOA without attaching business visa as required under Rule 13, the form is liable to be rejected. There is no scope for resubmission. They are not giving an opportunity, another opportunity for you. So whenever you are going to attest a document with respect to a foreign citizen, and foreign citizen is coming to India without a business visa, or he's coming into business visa and you are not attaching the same in the incorporation documents, what happens? They will outrightly reject the particular form, and then you have to apply once again. So please be careful. So go by a checklist approach. Coming to foreign subscribers or directors involved, how we have to approach the same. So a person walks into an office and he said, I want to start a company. Normally we advise, right? So I want to start a manufacturing company, or a trading company. So we'll ask the question is, how much will be the scale? Initial days we'll expect, or initial years we expect 10 lakh to 20 lakhs. Okay. And how the funding, everything will happen. So you're going to tell that, okay, my relatives will be there, my friends will be there. Okay. If we are very certain and this person is going to scale up, we will definitely advise go for incorporating a company. If the person is not certain, what will tell? Okay, you try with the partnership firm or with an LLP. Once it scale up, we can plan for company. Coming back, as how to deal with foreign subscribers or directors if they are involved in the incorporating a company. And this foreign subscriber directors visited India and intended to incorporate a company. Indian professional can attest the document if he or she is having a valid business visa. We cannot attest the document for a person sitting in Dubai right now. To be honest, we can see that some of our friends had the problems previously because, okay, a friend of mine is there. He will definitely, he's in Dubai, I know him personally. Though he's not here, I'm going to attest the documents. Nowadays, please be very careful because even we have to mention the passport number too. We don't know what kind of information MC is gathering. So if an Indian professional is going to attest the documents of foreign subscriber or director, ensure that the person is in India. If the person is in India, visited India, ensure that he is having a valid business visa, not a travel or tourist visa. If business visa is no issue, and what you have to collect the copy of the passport. That sealing is the stamping, business visa copy, and the stamping, inward sealing. This has to be ensured. And we attach the same, no issue. As I already mentioned in the last slide, if you are not attaching this business visa, in applicable case, they can outrightly reject the form. Again, you will be cutting a sorry figure in front of the client. So we can avoid the same. Second category, if subscriber is a person of Indian origin and is on a visit to India. A person in NRI is in Dubai and he comes down. He wants to start a company. So this business visa applicability will not apply to him. Indian origin, person of Indian origin or the citizen of India, that's not required. So passport stamping is fine. As a matter of precaution, I also request ensure that we collect this copy too. Attestation. The most important part, we have to ensure that how the document attestation. So person is in India, we can take care of the attestation, no doubt, if they have the requisite documents. Business visa or the passport stealing is there for person of Indian origin. And the person is outside, what I should do? What are the precautions I should do? So this requirement is mentioned as per the rules only, not my wording. What the rule says that if the person is in a country, it is any part of Commonwealth, that is previous British colony, what they have to do? Signature and address on the memorandum and articles of association and proof of identity shall be notarized by a notary in that part of Commonwealth. If Britain or any other Commonwealth country like Canada, what he has to ensure? He has to ensure that it has to be attested by a notary there. In a country is not falling under Commonwealth, it is under Hague Apostle. That means forming part of the countries which signed this particular treaty, Hague Treaty. Then signature and address on the memorandum and articles and the proof of identity shall be notarized before the notary public and duly apostilled. So two things should happen if it is part of Hague Apostle. This should be very clear. But when you look at the MCA FAQ, what they tell is only term they use is apostle. That's why I earlier mentioned that you read the section and rules both gives a different interpretation. In this part, rules gives a totally different interpretation and the FAQ gives another different interpretation. So to be on safer part, go by the rules. They're also telling apostle is fine, but if it is a big ticket case, high stakes are involved, ensure you go as per the rule so that no one can question you. So a country which is not part of Commonwealth or not part of Hague Apostle, it should be notarized before the notary public and it should be authenticated before the embassy. In simple terms, it should be notarized in that particular country and that document should be taken to embassy and embassy should attest the documents. In Dubai or the UAE countries, what we see is that we'll tell them that, okay, UAE, UAE and other countries, we can advise them, you go to the Indian embassy and get the same attested by the embassy. That's fine. So that has to be complied with. So ensure advice is once again go by the rules. So what are the mandatory attachments applicable to all? Not regarding the link forms. Link forms we have discussed. So there should be a declaration by first subscribers and directors. Then proof of office address, copy of utility bills as permitted by MCA. They mentioned gas, electricity bill, bank statement, not older than 2 months. So what are the attachments required if a foreign company or foreign citizen is a promoter and not present in India? There is some shift here. In the last slide you have seen, if the subscribers are already present in India, there is no requirement of hard copy memorandum attestation or article attestation or any other document attestation, because you can use the eMOA and eAOA. But this particular person is not in India. It is a requirement that you have to print out in the old format itself. Take a printout of memorandum, and the particular person sent to the person, he has to sign before the embassy. Embassy has to attest and get the document back. So you can use in the if you have a scenario where one of the promoter, one of the director is outside India, you have to use the memorandum, eMOA and eAO. You have to use the hard copy, not E. A person is outside India, you cannot use the one. You cannot use the electronic one. You have to use the hard copy. Very clear. Hard copy has to be attested. The proof of address, office address. So any attestation, it has to be attested by the embassy. Utility bills, and so if the foreign company is a promoter, so a company want to start as 100% subsidiary. Ford want to start a Ford subsidiary. The Trump is having a lot of real estate. He want to start a company here. So what he has to ensure? Trump he's having a company in US, and that company wants a subsidiary in Chennai or in Kerala or in any part of South India. So one of the mandatory requirements is that copy of certificate of incorporation and resolution passed by the company should be attested, and that should be duly attached. Now we have seen till last slides what we have seen. We have seen how the incorporation process will happen. You have to log in, go to dashboard, opt for either for name only, complete the name and incorporation, you complete the process. Then you have the attachments. You have to fill up the attachment, ensure the attachment is proper. Again, the attestation, if the promoter is not in India, that is very important thing. How you can say he's a friend of mine, he's a relative of mine. I'm no relatives we can exclude. He's a friend of mine, so I know him. Though he's not in India, he's a very genuine guy. Don't take that risk. Advice. Get the same attested abroad, no issue, because let he also understand the requirements. And we have seen all of the attachments as far as a foreign company is going to set a subsidiary, certificate incorporation, and other documents, and attestation if it is part of Hague Apostille to attestation, notary as well as embassy. If it is part of not Hague Apostille, what is the requirement? Notary public has to be attested, and not part of the Hague Apostille, anyone, any two earlier mentioned, what will happen? It has to be notarized as well as the attested at the embassy. Coming to certification part. When a professional certify the SPICE form, what all things he is certifying? I think we should give some time to understand this. The point being, we normally feel because once you fix the digital signature, everything is complete. No, our responsibility is much higher and bigger. Compliance for 11 sections of the Companies Act related to incorporation of company read with rules made thereunder. What are the 11 sections which we have seen? A brief I have mentioned initially. Chapter 2 deals with incorporation related matters. Section 3 to 22, as well as the incorporation rules. These are being complied with. So in simple terms, we can say that we should have a checklist. How section 3 is complied, 4 is complied. So that we have to ensure. Whether the company has entered valid details in SPICE Plus form, and also check the limits of subscribers, members, or director. So professional has additional responsibility. So though we can say that everything is made in a faster mode. If you go to foreign countries, some people normally say, our respected senior members normally says that, okay, there everything is fast paced. But one thing is, there is a lot of responsibility on the professional. Here also, though things are fast paced, that means who will be fixed when they smell a rat? Who will be fixed? First and foremost thing, they will come to the professional office, because a professional has a lot of responsibility to ensure the same. And document attached, whether all documents are as per requirements, complete and legible. Please look at this particular wording, that all documents are as per the requirements, fine. Complete and legible. So if the person has not scanned it properly, it is your responsibility to ensure that it should be properly scanned and complete. Don't have a rush for the same. Ensure that. Have a peace of mind before doing the incorporation. Don't rush for anything. Have the checklist. Ensure that you get all documents as per checklist. The problem will come when you only tell the clients later stage. Once you sign up an engagement with the client regarding incorporating company, tell very categorically that these are the requirements. For that, I suggest all the young members present here, we must have our own in-house checklist. Because there can be one checklist for all, but my suggestion is that because all working in a different format. So please have a checklist at your office, complying with all the section and details required, because otherwise client will feel bad. Definitely, if you're dealing with the foreign clients, US clients or other clients, Japanese clients, they will have problems. They will feel that, okay, these are people are asking so many things. Why? So have a checklist. Ensure you be strict on the same. Ensure that you will complete the registration, incorporation with all these documents only. They will definitely respect you. There is another point we are certifying. That is, the professional has personally visited the premise or proposed registered office address in the form at the address mentioned. So earlier days, how the incorporation happened, we will give address given by them. We are not sure whether that particular place existed or not. But nowadays, our responsibility is much higher. It is our personal responsibility to ensure that that premise is actually there and it is working. Check whether the draft memorandum, MOA and AOA has been drawn up in line with conformity to section 4 and 5 and rules made thereunder. Though it's a repetition, in first line they have mentioned all the provisions are being complied with. Now they're clearly mentioning section 4 and 5 are being complied with. So in brief, we can say how we have to ensure. It's not contained in, because in EMOA and EAOA you can add terms, but that's not ultravires the act. That's not be against the act. It may happen the foreign subscribers come and they want to put restriction to each and everything. The articles can have the provision regarding entrenchment, but that should be used very particularly based on requirements. So ensure that nothing is ultravires the act. So that we have to ensure. And again, a small request: don't copy paste. Don't because for ease of convenience, some of our professionals, not all, will try to, okay, I got a format, I just filled up the format, just pulled down, completed, and filed. No, check it very clearly whether, because every memorandum and article should be tailor-made. It should suit the requirements of your client. Because what happens if you are not taking the precaution at this particular point of time, in future the client faces trouble. If the client is very aware of things, they'll definitely come back and tell, dear sir, if your advice is properly, we have not made this particular point, made the issue. So go through the provision very clearly in the incorporation stage. At this point, I would like to highlight guidance not on reports or certificate for special purpose issued by ICA. Normally, we made a certificate, saying that certificate, we have verified the 11 records of the company, and on that basis, we certify that. I would like to say that gone are those days. If you are going to certify anything, you have to certify as per this particular guidance note. It's very clear. Most of the firms are doing, I'm sure all the persons present here are doing the same, no doubt about the same, but anyone is going by the old format. We have verified the records and certified, gone are the days. Please go as per the guidance note. Do we need to attach a certificate in this with the MCA? There is no harm in attaching a certificate, because we have clearly understood the provision and we attach the UDIN, no issue. And before, what is the first step? First step in incorporation, we have said that the company being a legal person should have a name. Name should be given. I would like to tell the point is that it's not a name first. You should have a proper appointment letter, engagement letter. You make the terms very clear. The name of the company, who are the directors, subscribers, all these things you have to make it very clear. So obtain a appointment letter. Email is fine, no issue. And second is the representation can be sought wherever required, because there you have to clearly mention at the incorporation stage, this particular person is staying in this particular address for this much years. How you ensure? Can you go there and ensure? No. Only for that you can obtain only representation only. Because in future any issue come, regulator will come back to us. Dear Prostal, on what basis you have made this particular statement? We can very much rely on this representation. No harm. It is legally permissible. So ensure that seek written representation wherever required. And most important thing, don't forget to generate UDIN. Last day we have seen the news that UDIN we have time only 15 days. After the particular 11 date, only within 15 days you have to generate UDIN. And from 1st Jan, a new window is going to open. New window is going to open. This is from 1st Jan to 30th March. You can clear all the pending backlogs for cases where you have not generated a UDIN from February onward, February onwards, 20 onwards. So those who are not generated UDIN previously, please use this particular window from 1st Jan. And those who are going to do it, please ensure that UDIN is being generated. ICA initiatives. There is a technical guide brought in by ICAI. Easy incorporation of companies through SPICE form. It is in May they have introduced. Again, ICAI in tie-up, they have introduced a legal compliance, the board module for secretarial compliance. There's a link is being provided. The material will be shared with you in either by end of the day or tomorrow. So this link, ICAI has tied up with Avantis. They are providing the board model for secretarial compliance. UDIN I already mentioned. UDIN again we have a long UDIN FAQ. There is another book issue. UDIN FAQ. The material issued by ICAI. So under which head you have to generate UDIN for incorporation? Under the main head is certificate. Main head is certificate, and certificate issued on, there are two options. Certificate issued on the basis of statutory records and applicable provisions and others. So which option? Main head, two options are available, because here there is no statutory records on incorporation. We can definitely use the other option. And effective number 35, whether UDIN is applicable for manually signed documents, MCA forms, it said yes, UDIN is applicable. There is a process checklist, small thing which for the benefit of all. So first and foremost, what is step one in company incorporation? Conduct a name check and trademark search and maintain record for the same. So you are going to tell that, okay, I have searched the name. The name is not I have searched a trademark. Other day, because we are also ensuring while incorporation that all the provisions are being complied with. These provisions include checking the name availability. There is no duplicate similar names. Also the trademark search too. If there is any problem, MCA will definitely come back to us. So keep a record of the same. Second step is gather documents for name application and incorporation simultaneously. I already mentioned, don't wait for one process to complete to start the other. So I have obtained the name. So I'm waiting for, okay, once I complete the name, I will only initiate the incorporation documents. No, my dear friends and dear colleagues, start the incorporation process simultaneously. Complete the attestation and signature formality. So what you can do? So you'll ask me, so Sean, what do you mean by start the incorporation process simultaneously? For name application, you don't need any other information. But for incorporation, you have to ensure whether the person is having a DIN. If not DIN, collect the documents. Whether he's having a DSE. If no, apply for DSE. So I mean these particular things. These are small things, but it will be time consuming. Again, attestation part, that is not required at the initial stage, because you collect all the attachments and all the documents at first itself. Then you plan for the attestation and digital signature, and carry out the online submission of documents and generate challan and resubmit wherever applicable. If they ask for additional information, clarify. My advice is always ensure that there will not be any, always submit in such a fashion that there will not be any scope for resubmission. Because we can have a feeling that, okay, if there is any mistake, they will ask. No, avoid the same. Try to avoid. Exception can happen. Of course, some document is not attached. Avoid the same, but ensure that once you attach, it's very clear. Normal resubmission comes that they have doubts regarding whether you have attached a scanned signature. Avoid it. Don't use scanned signature because everything is digital. So easier convenience, you may try to copy the signature and put it here. Avoid it. This is small process checklist. Again, I tell it varies based on the experience of the people and those who are more involved in IT. They can technologically enabled technology they can embrace. Use it in such a fashion. We can modify it. Few FAQs I would like to discuss. Again, this FAQ is already available in the public domain. I just taken from the public domain for discussion. Whether all services to be opted mandatorily while filing SPICE Plus. Name application, yes. Incorporation. After applying for the name, okay, you can go for incorporation. No issue. While going for incorporation, you can go do the DIN. Fine. DIN you can apply. If there is no DIN, PAN is a mandatory option. TAN is a mandatory option. Opening of bank account in SPICE Plus is a mandatory option. PF and ESI is a mandatory option. GST is an optional. So applying for GST is only optional. Rest all is mandatory. Is refund applicable if SPICE Plus forms get registered? Earlier days, if form is rejected, you have to apply again. Now its refund is available. In the FAQ, they are clearly mentioned you will get the refund. How many resubmissions are permitted for SPICE Plus forms? 2 resubmissions. 2 resubmissions, including if you are applying for name separately, that will also be counted. So ensure that you check the name very clearly and apply, because before applying for the name, you have the name check option is available in the public domain without any fee. Excuse me. And this has to be ensured, and you submit the form. Don't think of any resubmission. Don't think that, okay, when you file the form, ensure that you are filing the complete information. There will not be any scope for resubmission. I mentioned regarding resubmission, 2 resubmissions. And how many times web forms can be amended? Web forms can be amended 5 times. So you can make the changes in 5 times. But my advice is that if you're planning for incorporation, normally you have to get all documents at your table. Gather all your documents at your table or your articles or your assistance table, and they have to complete at one go. Because all this depends on the connectivity is a problem. We have the internet connectivity issue. Some error is that they'll ask once again. So you have to ensure it has to be completed at one go. So we can amend 5 times. It doesn't mean that you can slowly do the same. Ensure that at one go you complete. Can the filing be completed in a time-bound manner? Of course, we can complete filing in a time-bound manner. For that, small element of planning is required. A small element of procedure is required. Gather all the available information. Don't call the client and ask, please share this document. No. Before you start the work, ensure everything is gathered and arranged at your table, at your desk. Whether DSP subscribers to be registered, especially for the first directors, they can use the option authorize subsidiary. Whether you will get mail from bank branch or account opening, it depends. Some are getting the mail, some tell they are not getting the mail, but better you contact a particular branch, because the branch option will come. If you are not getting, you contact the MCA. MCA email is available, contact the MCA. So initial hiccups, please consider this as a initial hiccups only. I am sure in the days to come, all this will be. How the attestation to be done if subscribers or directors are not in India? I want any member to respond, as we because under this particular option, they cannot come directly. I understand your feelings. I will like to tell the answer. Attestation if subscribers are not in India, ensure that attestation is done. If it is based on if it is a Commonwealth country, he is in a Commonwealth country, or a Hague apostle, or not in both countries. Commonly, what you can do, get the embassy attestation, but be particular. You go as per rules only. Don't think that he's a friend of mine. I know him very personally. He called me, dear sir, dear Sean, I cannot come down. Please help me. Going to embassy is a difficult thing. So please help me. I will advise even my friend too. I will tell very clearly, no. please get the same attested by our embassy. Or what you can do, okay, if you have a relative here, let he form part of the company at present. Later stage, you come here. When you come down here, you can complete the incorporation. No issue at all. But it's very particular because incorporation document is like a birthmark, and the professional associated with that incorporation will remember each and every time. He can be called up by even regulators at any point of time. But the maximum upload size for Spice Plus form 6 MB, including Part A and Part B. 6 MB is the upload size. These are the small few aspects regarding the incorporation of the Spice Plus forms. Anyone having questions, please put to chat. Mukesh, please forward questions. Any
1 minute, sir. I will
questions
call
here
Abhishek,
obtained.
sir. 1 minute, sir. Sir, can I call Abhishek, sir?
Surely.
Yeah, 1 second, sir. 1 second.
And dear members, please note that this documents, incorporation documents, has to be preserved lifelong. What happened is that, okay, we keep the incorporation documents original, we give back to clients. Tell them very clearly this has to be preserved lifelong, not for 8 years thing. It's a lifelong record. After incorporation, I already mentioned what all things we have to comply with. The mainly opening of bank accounts we can do simultaneously. Filing of INC 28, commencement of business. Don't forget the same, because nowadays MCA is taking action. Minimum penalty is there, you cannot avoid of the same. So you know, to ensure that these are being properly complied with. Don't worry about this compliance part. And some of us delegate the same to company secretaries. I have nothing against the company secretaries. They are good in their profession. We are also too good in our profession. We can also do the same, especially young members. Young members, opportunity is there everywhere, but you have to catch hold of the same. And don't feel that, okay, that is their cup of tea. No, compliance is also our cup of tea. Let there be good professionals, I mean, us, who are very keen in company law. We can advise the clients better. Don't feel that go to company secretary or any other professional. No. So the record keeping is very important thing that has to be ensured. And ensure that what we have learned in the school days, not school days, CA days, a company cannot do activities other than mention the main object. So I think we have to strictly follow the same. This can be followed during the audit time only. Whether company is doing the activities similar or as per the main object, because earlier we had the main object and ancillary objects. Under the Companies Act 2013, whatever you want to do, you have to mention in main objects and all, not the ancillary objects. So the company is registered under the old act and doing activity, ancillary activities as per the main object, then there will be a problem. When the ROC come for inspection, there will be a problem for us. So we can avoid the thing. So please ensure that the company is doing the activity as per the main object. And regarding the amendments, my small suggestion is that just in a month, at least one day, go visit MCA website and see the amendment part. For the benefit of members, ebook. Most of us, I understand, most of us are more knowledgeable than me. I am not undermining any one of you, but just go to MCA website and check the option. Just for the ease of, since we are waiting for secretary, I will take the benefit of for new members.
So few questions have been raised. I will send you in chat box, sir.
Fine. I'll be in chat box.
Just check it, sir.
Good evening, sir. If PF and ESR registration are allotted, the new company is required to file nil on a monthly basis if the same is not applicable to them. A very good question. I already replied. It is a mandatory requirement that you have to apply for PF and ESI. But if you are not past the threshold limit, there is no requirement to comply the same. Or if you feel that PF and ESI is no more applicable to you, we can intimate the department that that is not applicable to you. There is no proper clarity on the same. To be frank with you, in the MCFAQ, they are not giving a proper clarity on the same, which I've discussed with some of the professionals and even professional magazines. They clearly mentioned that what they tell that you have to obtain a registration, but the compliance is applicable only if you pass the threshold. But another question other, because from department's angle, PF department's angle, you have taken a registration, you are not complied. So how the department knows the same that you are not passed the threshold? They will ask a question, reverse question. If it is not applicable, why you have taken registration? We cannot tell them that because they will not listen to what you say. They will tell that, okay, you have taken registration, you have to comply. So as a matter of precaution, sir, I would like to intimate the PF department that we are not past the threshold. Hope I answered the question. Can a microfinance company incorporate as a private limited company? No. Microfinance company cannot be incorporated as a private limited company. It should be a public company. That's based on my experience. Anyone having a different opinion can bring in the same. I've seen most of the microfinance companies, they will be NBFCs. They will be registered with RBI. So RBI, NBFC, it must be all the NBFC, mostly all the NBFCs are public limited companies only, not private. Remedies for a director. Next question. Remedies for a director to start a new company who defaulted in filing of his earlier company. This is the problem we are facing. That is, X was the director in some other company. That company has not filed the return, on account of which he became disqualified. And what is the way out? When you look at closely read the provisions. Closely read the provisions. The provisions are telling you that if the director has become disqualified, there is a particular form to remedy the same. But here what happens? Once guilty, always guilty. That means if he is disqualified, he is disqualified for next 5 years. Law is not very clear. Even this is a subject matter before Supreme Court. I think that matter is not still taken up by Supreme Court of India. When Gujarat High Court has given a different version, different High Courts, when Chennai High Court also having a different version, they say that it should not be considered so. But we have to, this clarity has to emerge on the scene. At this point of time, the answer is if a person is defaulted, he will be disqualification. When 164 will apply, 164(2) will apply, vacation is automatic by application of law. There is no requirement to. ROC has to disqualify you. It's not ROC disqualify you. It is the law disqualify you. Again, law has a provision that removal or disqualification that's not being appreciated by the regulators or the government. So that must be looked into. Definitely, we can expect Supreme Court will come up with a solution. Next question: if a bank has 2 branches in one PIN code, how do I select particular branch? If bank has 2 branches in PIN code, how do I select one particular branch? So there is a bank, 2 branches with one particular. So what are the options available to you? Only you can select, sir. There is no other option. What will be what you can do is that you have the bank account first. Later stage, the PFI already mentioned. Later stage, you can have a different bank account. There is nothing harm in closing. The only intention behind this particular is that you have to bring in the funds. Again, bringing in funds, you have time, 180 days. So if you take a practical view, you don't want that particular branch, no issue. You can apply for a closure and apply for another bank because there is no charge associated with the same. Of course, time is involved. There is no money associated. But for us, time is money. What will be the normal fees to be charged for private company incorporation? I suggest the institute has prescribed the fees. Please go by the same. Prescribed fees by ICAI is that you just Google up what are the prescribed fees by ICAI. Please go with the same. I will not comment on the same. It's a slightly sensitive issue. Next question: we are facing issues while applying for PAN and TAN. This is happening after recent update by NSDL. I think you have to wait for the same. Initially, we also had the same problem because the AO code is not right likewise. So wait for the same. This will be resolved. Initial days we had because 2017 to my knowledge, in 2017, first time the PAN online application was emerged. It took nearly 3 weeks to get the incorporation complete. So just wait for the same IDBI, because they are interfacing with so many other websites, because MCA is interfacing with income tax website, NSDL website, PF, ESA, etc. So some hiccups will be there. Please wait, it will be resolved. Any other questions, please? Mukesh, any other questions? Please share.
Sure.
Sean, there's one more question regarding whether shareholder can bring in capital in the form other than cash or through bank, say furniture or plant and machinery. In that case, how do we show the proof of deposit of paid up capital?
I was expecting this particular question because I was preparing for it. The point is that one of a friend of mine asked the same question. That is, they incorporated a company and they shown the capital as 1 crore. And 1 crore they are intending to bring by way of a property only. Property has to be conveyanced. When you go by the provisions of section 4 regarding memorandum, they make a very point clear. He has to subscribe for whatever commitment he makes. Nowhere in the provision it's mentioned that the money only he has to bring in. So he has to subscribe for his commitment. His commitment can be in cash or in kind. So my advice is that there must be a proper agreement for the same. Based on the agreement, you can say that this is the commitment. So accordingly, you have brought in. So if you have honored the commitment in INC 20A, you not provide the bank details. You attach the agreement. But what is happening is that nowadays is that whatever you mentioned memorandum, you have to bring in. That we whatever you mention, you have to bring in. Agree. But it is a commitment you make. So what is the commitment? It can be based on agreement, the understanding. So we cannot simply put the way that, okay, what normally happens is that I would like to tell my professional colleague who asked the question. Normally what happens is that people will not bring in funds and they will tell that, okay, they will bring in kind. That is not possible. So in the day one itself, they have to decide what is their commitment. If the commitment is in cash, they have to bring in, no doubt. If the commitment is in some other form, put a timeline. Is it after 2 years? So timeline is more important. Furniture or plant and machinery, okay, in that case, how to show proof of deposit of paid up capital? So I hope you answered the question. Abhishek, am I clear? So better, my advice is have an agreement for the same. In the first board meeting, you adopt this particular agreement and mention that this is the commitment by the shareholder and he has brought in this particular things. Or if regarding the registration and the registration of the particular property should be completed so and so in this mode. Any more questions?
I think we've covered all the questions, Sean.
Any more questions, please send to SIRC. I'm ready to answer because I am here to answer all your queries. If two ways in answering question. One is if you know, you can answer. If you don't know, you can refer an answer. I fondly remember the class of G. Shekhar sir. I remember that he used to tell in the class that when you are a student, you should know everything. When you are a chartered accountant, you should know at least where the books are kept. So I am guided by the principle. If you ask me a difficult question, I'll go back and refer the book and come back to you. I thank you.
So,
I thank my
yeah.
SIRC once again for giving me the opportunity to discuss on the same. And I thank all the members who I cannot see. I love you all. I love you all for your patient listening.
Thank you so much, Sean. A very power-packed session, I must say, in your inimitable style, and you covered on many interesting aspects. And though you made a joke that you'll go back to refer, I think all of us here are very appreciative of how you are able to give pointed answers to all the questions raised. So I think that shows that you don't need to know where the books are, you just know the subject itself. So thank you so much, Sean, for your time. I thank the chairman of SIRC once again for being the leader and taking us through this entire seminar. Central Council member, CA Prasanna Kumar sir, and of course, most importantly, all the participants, more than 600 people who have joined in to listen here today. Thank you so much for your very valuable time joining in such a crunch time period. I'm sure we will all take the inputs of Sean, and I also request Sean, If we get any more questions, can I share that with you, Sean, so that you can answer?
Surely.
Because I think the members, when they're practically dealing with the Spice Plus forms, I remember I got in touch with Sean once when I was doing a Spice Plus form, because I did not understand how this form is, there were some new developments in the form and he was able to help me. So I'm sure all the other members also, they'll get some practical challenges when they're doing it. So I request members to write to SIRC. We will forward it to the speaker today, and he's kind enough to say that he will answer the questions.
I'm waiting for the questions.
So thank you once again, Sean. I thank the staff of SIRC for giving us the back-end support and timely support for the organization of the same. I request all of you to join back for our future programs. We have arranged on 30th of December and 31st of December also. I'm sure some of you must be thinking very close to deadline, but whether deadline is there or not, CPE deadline is there for 31st December. So just to enable our members, brothers who have missed out completing the CPE requirements, we have organized many programs. So we request you, please do register, please do join us. Very good sessions. We have got excellent speakers as well. So I hope to see you on those programs. Stay home, stay safe, take care, all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So can I end the session, sir?
Krish,
Thank you.
please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.